Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel The Power House Ideas। वीडियो के थंबनेल को देखकर आप लोगों को ये पता लग गया होगा कि इस वीडियो का टॉपिक क्या होने वाला है। दिस इज़ अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक विच विल हेल्प यू स्कैन stocks for swing trading, which will give you an edge or a kind of a proper system following which you can make money from the markets and find some good stocks. So before going through the scanner, we will also see the scanner results, how that scanner works. I'll also show you the scanner so that you can make the same scanner on your screens. You can just duplicate whatever scanner I have made. And I also show you some of the examples of how the stocks scanned by those scanner is working. So before that, let me give you the theory that how the scanner works and what is the psychology behind it. Because my intent is not to make you use any scanner. My intent is to make you understand the concepts, make you develop some kind of system. When I say system, like in stock market, any kind of system can work if you have backtested that. The only requirement is that you follow that system religiously. So basically, I'll be giving you a system, a free system today, a free setup today, following which you can backtest it, you can check the results, and if the results seem suitable to you, you can use that as your system. So it's a free giveaway for the entire society, for my entire followers. So the next 10 minutes, I want all of you to understand few basic things. So to start with it, I have taken one example of a stock. I'll explain you how that scanner will work, how the scanner will help you find one of the best swing trading ideas, one of the best ideas wherein you can manage your risk with a very small stop loss and will also help you manage the overall impact to your portfolio. So let's start with the theory first. I'll explain you what I thought about it before making the scanner and how the scanner should work. So ideally, I have few questions for you. I'll try to answer, like ask you that. You can answer it yourself. You can stop the video and answer it yourself and then see the video again. So basically, there are few conditions for a stock to move. The first condition is that if you answer yourself, if a stock has to move above, it has to cross the yesterday's high. If a stock has to move above, the stock has to close above yesterday's close. I think every one of you agrees with this. So this is condition number one, which we'll put in the scanner, which will help us get some good stocks. Now, just take an example let's take an example over here only. Now, not like this. We'll take a theoretical example before. Then I'll jump on to this. I'll explain to the screen then only. Now, you also want, apart from those two conditions which I just told you, you also want that people should show interest in your stocks when the price is rising. So how can we ascertain that? We can check that with the help of volume. Say, for instance, we are trading a stock which is at 100 rupees today, and the volume in that stock is 1 lakh. This is just a hypothetical example. Tomorrow, the price went to 110 and the volume is 10,000. So this means people are showing interest. People are showing volume to buy the stock at higher prices. I think this is also very clear. Now, this is second condition. First condition I told you about the high and close. Second is the volume condition, which we'll put in the scanner. I'll show you the scanner results also. Just see the scanner at the end and then go watch this video full so that you know how to make such a beautiful and stupid simple scanner. The third condition is that the stock shouldn't be something which is somewhere having some relative strength. So we'll put some condition relative to relative strength, right? So this is all about the technical parameters which we need to put in the scanner. Now, we also need to make sure, because we are putting our hard-earned money, so we also need to make sure that whatever money we put into a company, on the face of it, because we are swing trading, we need not go into the entire financials and all the fundamental study of a company. We need to have a basic understanding of the financials, very, very basic for swing trading, because we are targeting 10-20%, maybe 40-50%, not more than that in swing trades, right? So the third important parameter is the earnings. So basically, the company should have a positive earning per share and the company should be making a positive return. So that is return on capital employed. So we'll be putting these two conditions also in the scanner. Now this is a stock which was scanned by my scanner. I'll give you the scanner, don't worry, it will be available to all of you. I'll just in a minute show you that screen and how the results are generated from the scanner. Now basically what I told you right now, let's track that manually. If you remember, I'll just write it down for you. So first condition was, what was the first condition? The first condition was everyone remember till now, that first condition was related to high. Second condition was related to close. Third condition was related to RSI. Fourth condition was related to positive earning, right? These four conditions we just spoke about. So we'll try to check the first two conditions, that are the technical conditions. RSI, simply you can plot it. So I'll show you how the setup will work, how the strategy will work, and about this financials positive, charting will take care of this. We need not worry about it. So let's take the stock now for an example. The first condition was high as compared to the previous high. So let's start from here. This is the first candle. Did the price had a higher high than the previous high? First condition is fulfilled, yes. Second condition about the close. Did the price had a higher close than the previous close? Second condition is also fulfilled, yes. I missed a condition in between. The third condition was higher volume. Now on the second day, did the price had some higher volume on the charts? So the answer is yes, it had. So basically all the three conditions were satisfied over here, and you can see how the stock moved. But you cannot 100% rely on any scanner. This has moved because we already know it has moved. Had it been the case, we were at this position only, we didn't had this much price action, it was very difficult to say because they were upwards wicks, the price was trading below the MAs, right? So this kind of manual filtration you need to do once the scanner gives you the stock. So basically over here we didn't have the confidence that the stock will move up, but all the conditions are being fulfilled. So let's see where second time the condition got fulfilled. On this candle, third candle, did the high of the candle close above the previous candle? The answer is no. So let's leave this candle. This candle, did the high of this candle close above the high of the other candle? The answer is yes. Did the price close above the previous close? Answer is yes. Was there enough volume? If you see above over here, the volume was lesser than the previous day, so the conditions are not fulfilled. Let's move to the next candle. High was higher than the previous high, close was higher than the previous close, and the volume was very good. So over here, we are considering the financial parameters are being matched over here. Don't worry about that, I'll show you that also. But let's consider that the company is earning positive earning per share, and also the company is earning a good return on capital employed. So basically your scanner triggered over here. Now how to manage the risk? So basically what I would have done, seeing these candles, I know that over here also the condition was fulfilled. Now at this place, let me just take the pen again. At this condition also condition was fulfilled. At this place also the condition has been fulfilled. Now I know that the stock is trading above the 2 MAs which I plotted. By the way, this is 5 and 9 MA which I plotted. This seems very reliable to me for swing trading. Whenever the stock gets tight at these places, it gives me an additional confidence. So basically we know a stock which was trading below the MAs, which is triggering as per the condition earlier also, is again triggering. So how should we have taken that trade? So basically let's see that how to manage the risk using the scanner. Then I'll go to the scanner quickly after this. So let's say we took a trade at the day end when we know that the volume is more than the previous day, and we keep a stop loss either below the swing low, the day low, or maybe the day open. So day low is more favorable because that's below the MAs also. So now till now we know that our setup is being triggered. The stock is above the MAs. So putting a stop loss over here, you can see the stock easily gave you a return till the time it went below the MAs. It easily gave you a return of how much? Let me see. It gave you a return of 1:2. If you see on the screen, it's 1:2, which has already been given by that. So these are the basic conditions. Now the most you can say your awaited part, let me take you to that scanner and explain you how does that work, and we'll take some more examples. Stay tuned for 10 more minutes or maybe 5 more minutes only, and explain you some of the very useful cases. I'll also explain you how to avoid the signal generated by the scanner through manual filtering, because every system has loopholes, so that you can remove using your manual filtering criteria. So I'll explain you a few of the charts in depth so that you understand how to filter those and how to use those basically, right? So let's move to the scanner. So on your screen, you can see the scanner. You can take a screenshot of this. You can revisit it, this video, and pause it and whatever you want to do. So basically, I told you the first condition says the daily high should be greater than 1 day ago high. This was condition number 1. Daily close should be greater than 1 day ago close. This 2 makes condition number 1. Then daily volume should be greater than 1 day ago volume. Daily RSI should be above 50. Now over here I have selected 50. You can do it 60, 70, 80, 40, whatever. When you go down like 40, 50, you will be getting more number of shares. When you move it up 60, 70, 80, you move up, you will be getting less number of shares. So that depends upon you what kind of stocks you want to trade, whether you want a lot of population. If you see this, there are so many beautiful stocks. There are 27 stocks coming over here, which is shortlisted from the futures segment only. If you see at the top of this conditions, you see futures only. Then the next condition is that the earning per share should be greater than 1, which means that the company should be earning per share something which is positive, more than 0. Return on capital employed, whatever capital the company puts into the company, whatever the capital the company has, it should earn a positive return. So I have given a condition that it should be more than 10%. Then the last point, which is the daily volume. If you see the daily volume, I have fixed to more than 20,000, that is 20K, just because so that I don't select illiquid stocks and get my position stuck. Then I have also put one additional condition that daily close should be greater than daily open, which means the candle should be green. This if you see I have disabled, you can also enable that. This will help you provide only green candles only. Green candles only. Now let's see some of the stocks. We have already seen Blue Star. Let's see Apollo Hospitals for you. We'll see 2 stocks more. One is Apollo Hospital. See, I'm just picking the first 3. I'm not like cherry picking something. You can just copy the scanner and see the results yourself. So basically, now over here you see this scanner triggered today. Now what happened? The high was higher than the previous high. The close was higher than the previous close. The volume was higher than the previous volume. The volume was more than 20,000, and the other fundamental parameters, that is the EPS and the return on capital employed, are positive. But over here comes your manual filtration. We already know that the stock has moved up and it has created a gap. And after creating a gap, it has created a doji, which means indecision candle. So will I take an entry over here? Answer is no. Now let's see whether this stock triggered our setup as per the condition which I just defined to you, the complete setup, the complete strategy which I just gave to you. So let's start from the lowest most candle. Over here, did the high closed above this candle? Over here, did the high closed above the previous high? Answer is no. First condition didn't got fulfilled. Now let's move to the second candle. Over here, the high closed above the previous high. The close closed above the previous high. Did we had volume more than the previous day? Let's see that. If you see this, the volume was lesser. The scanner did not triggered. Let's move to the third candle. The third candle says the high is higher than the, the high is higher than the previous high. The close is also higher than the previous high. Do we have volume more than the previous day? Answer is no. Still, our scanner has not triggered. Now again, let's check the other candles. If you see, these are black candles. Let's ignore them. Let's go to this candle, basically this one, doji candle. Whether the high is higher than the previous day? The answer is no. So the setup does not apply here. Let's see whether the setup would have triggered on this day. So the high was higher than the previous high. The close was higher than the previous close. Whether the volume was more than the previous day? Let's see. So if you see on the top of the screen, you see the volume bar is higher. Or if I see the number at the left of the screen, it shows 552K, means 5 lakhs volume. And on the previous day, it was 526, that is 5,26,000 volume. So the volume increased. Now the price is trading above some of the significant MAs, which I've already told you. Price has sufficiently gone sideways. The volume is increasing. The people are showing confidence. And you see here, the stock moves straight away up. Now till where it can go above, you can add some more filtrations into this. If you see this on the weekly time frame, it was facing some resistance. So this your scanner won't tell you, but this is something which you need to consider. So additionally, what you need to do, you need to see whether what the stock is doing on a monthly and a bigger time frame, a weekly time frame, so that you know that you are not buying a stock at a wrong position. So basically over here it triggered. Now let's see at this green candle, but before that let me remove these drawings, just a minute. So I'm at the last 1 minute of the video. Please be patient. If you see this, I'm checking this candle, whether the high was above the previous day high. If you just zoom it and you can see the high was above the previous day high. The close was obviously above the previous day close. Whether we had more volume than the previous day. The answer was yes. So over here, your scanner got triggered. It should have been part of that chartink screener on this day also. That was on 19th June. If you would have taken a trade over here, keeping a stop loss below this, below the low, and kept it going. So see how beautifully this stock never came below the MAs, and it gave you a profit of 1:6. That is 8%. So by risking only 1.45%, you gain 8%. That's crazy, right? Now let's see one more candle maybe. Let's see another green candle, which is this candle. Whether the high closed above the previous day high, the answer is no. So the scanner or the setup does not apply here. Let's see this candle. Whether the high closed above the previous day high, answer is yes. Whether the close happened to be above the previous day close, answer is yes. Whether the volume was higher than the previous day volume, answer is yes. So over here also your scanner, your setup triggered. You could have taken an entry over here, keeping a stop loss just below this. But we know that there is also an additional risk that an upside trend line resistance is coming, so we need to keep that in mind. If we face a red candle next day, we need to move out, because it's not important that you get only at a stop loss, only at a stop loss. You can get out early if you see that some kind of resistance is working. So the next day straight away you can see the stock zoomed, and in one day what was the return? In one day you got a return of 3%, and you only risk less than 1%. So let's see one more example from the screener. That is, the next stock is CESE. Let's see that and see what this screener gave to us. So if you see this beautiful patterns forming, if you see how the, let us check the conditions, whether those conditions are working fine or not. So the high was above the previous day high. The close is obviously above the previous day close. The volume is higher than the previous day volume. And obviously the financials are already positive. That's why it's got triggered. So you can see a beautiful candle forming. We know that we are approaching a resistance. So if the candle starts moving above, we can take a entry over here, maybe keep a stop loss 1-2% down and trade this. So this is how, with the help of a screener, you can shortlist some stocks. Let's see where this screener would have triggered if these conditions would have been met. So let's start from the very beginning. So let's see this candle, the first green candle, whether the high was above the previous day high. Answer is no, condition did not fulfilled. Let's check the other candle, the next candle. I'll just zoom it in a bit. So if you can see over here, the high was above the previous day high, the close above the previous day close. Whether the volume was above the previous day, yes. The volume was also higher, so the scanner again triggered over here. But over here, by manually filtering, you can see that it was below the MA, so you can ignore it. You can wait for one more day maybe and just see that whether it gives a follow through or not. So the next day you see the price open gap up. It tried to take a support of these resistance, this MAs, and it worked as a support, and the candle closed above. So let's check the conditions. The high was obviously above the previous day high. The close was already above the previous day close. It's taking a support of the MAs. The volume was higher than the previous day, and you see the stock zoomed. So basically this is something which is very valuable. All you need to do is to have this screener. Don't start immediately trading. Just check how the setup works. At the end of the day, you won't be requiring any screener. You will understand this setup and try to follow it. Maybe do paper trading for a month, maybe for 2 months, maybe backtest it. Try to check what kind of results this scanner generate, so that you could get a confidence. And the most important thing, manage your risk well. If you fix a stop loss before the day low, it is a humble request to everyone. If you want to be profitable, risk management is the only key. Many traders think that their technical skills are good, that's why they are able to make profit. No. The traders who are making profit are the ones who are good at risk management. If you try to accept your losses as quickly as possible, always remember the first loss is the smallest loss, and the second loss which you will be getting, you will be regretting, and you won't be in a position to book your losses at that stage. So always remember, risk management is the first thing. The technical setups come second. So as part of risk management, I told you, you can keep a stop loss maybe below a swing low if you want, maybe below the open price of that particular day, maybe below the low of that particular day. That depends upon your risk appetite. That depends on how you want to modify the scanner. So this is it from my side. I hope the scanner and the screener makes a change in your life. If after a month you feel that this setup, this stupid simple setup, yes, obviously this setup is very stupid, very simple, but this shall work. At the end of the month, if you think, or at the end of 2 months, you think that this screener is working for you, the only request is come back to the YouTube channel, comment and tell me what you liked most about this, how well it's working for you, so that it reaches to the larger community. You share it with your friends so that they also know it. And the only humble request is that I am making all these videos at this point of time. If you see on the screen, it's 11:24. I am making all these videos at this point of time only for you guys, so that you can understand that how simple you can keep the things. One bonus thing, I took an entry today in this stock particularly. If you see this, let's see whether the conditions were met over here. The high was above the previous high, the close was above the previous close, and the financials are good. Obviously RSI is above 50, 60, 70, whatever you want to keep. So the scanner triggered today. So what I have done, I basically entered into the stock, and how I have managed my risk, I have kept a stop loss immediately, you can see, at 1.5%. so if this candle falls back and enters back into this resistance zone, means comes below this, I'll be exiting. And if it does not, so I have some easy targets. I'll go for 1:2, 1:3, depending on what kind of candles are formed. So this is how stupid simple you can keep. And you can also see how the stock was tightening below the 5 MA, like near the 5 MA. And this gives us an additional comfort, or maybe an additional stop loss, that if the price comes below the 5 MA, which is working as a trend line only, it's in a design of a trend line only. If its price comes below this, I'll immediately move out of it, because I'll be facing only a loss of 1.5%. So if I've taken a position of 1 lakh rupees, then also I'll give to the market only 1500 rupees. So thank you for being patient, guys. Enjoy the screener. Do let me know in comments how you liked it and whether it changed something for you.